Words cannot express the whirlwind of emotions I felt at the Electric Forest Festival. Between the overwhelming amount of people, way over capacity, to the lack of PLUR from the festival staff and the fellow ravers, to ending the weekend with a horrible tragedy. The forest provided me the journey I needed for my own personal self reflection and growth. For that and the memories I made with true friends, I am forever grateful. The experience truly makes me appreciate smaller festivals that are properly ran with the consideration of the public's safety coming first before the money in their pockets. The forest provides, and the forest taketh away. Sad to say it was my first and my last. My heart goes out to those affected by the negative vibes. And this week, we are going to talk about those. Welcome to Who Are You? Curious Stories of Family Lore.
I'm Weedsy.
And I'm Sam Ivy.
And woof, it has been
It's been a week,
a week.
couple weeks since we've talked to our fam.
Yeah, and we were kind of catching up a little bit. I filled you in on my week, but we're not really focused on my week. Long story short, summary for everybody. Went camping, went on a train, visited family. It was that.
Living the all-American life right there.
Yeah, nothing crazy, just started, sorry, my chair is squeaking. Just started right off strong, but we had recorded, oh my gosh, spurs. Sorry. Just one second. Anyways, was it 2 weeks ago now? We recorded you did research into electric forests and you talked about
like the history of it and how it started, and because I was super excited. And don't get me wrong, I know this episode's gonna have some very negative tones to it, but like I did have a wonderful time. Like the forest was definitely an experience, minus all the bad.
Yeah, I think it's important to talk.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I definitely want to talk about the positive parts first before getting into like the negative side. Because I mean, like, it was my first forest. It was my first festival going to something on this large of a scale because it was sold out completely, and it was anywhere from like 50 to 70,000 people that attended. And I'm used to going to Hula, which is only like 20,000 max capacity. So
yeah, we were talking about festival sizes last week, or because we recorded it 2 weeks ago. We skipped a week because I didn't post it, and then I posted it while you were at Electric Forest because I knew that we would be recording this one after your experience. But, well, actually, no, I didn't. I just was a week late, basically. It was a whirlwind beginning to the summer, long story short. But I remember us talking about how much bigger this was going to be than the festivals that you usually went to. And we talked about Woodstock 99.
And how they kind of oversold with their stuff. And
yeah, how it was very over capacity. I do not remember the number on Woodstock 99. I'm going to have to pull up my notes from last week if I have them here. I don't know if I even put the number of how many people attended, so let me look that up. Because how many people attended this year, Electric Forest?
It was anywhere to 50 to 70,000, because I heard like both numbers being thrown out there, but they sold out completely.
Wait, how many were at?
Like 50 to 70, like
$50,000 to $70,000 is, or $1,000. Wow, I'm thinking money apparently. 50 to 70,000 people were at Electric Forest,
and that's not including like kids from the age 2 and under get in for free. So there were a lot of children there too.
There was 220,000 people in attendance at Woodstock 99.
Apparently. Yeah, I could not, like,
I don't understand that. How you can be like, just you think about your experience and then triple that, the amount of people.
Well, it's like It
fucking
didn't
crazy.
fully hit me how many people until, like, certain sets, like, when you're in the state or at the stage and, like, on the field and you're getting, like, surrounded by just hordes of people and, like, bumping into you and stuff. I mean, it happens at shows and stuff like that, but, like, people were literally, like, falling on top of each other basically. And, like, it didn't hit me, like, the full capacity of how many people were there until the last day when we had to evacuate, but I'll get to that. But we're gonna start with day 1.
Oh
Day 1
my
was great.
oh my god. Yeah, so here, just so you guys know, I have I have not talked to Sam or asked any questions about her experience other than what I have heard elsewhere and some hints. Like all the details I'm learning for the first time because of some crazy stuff that I hear went down there. So yeah, I'm here to listen, but I'm also curious about the good aspects of it too,
Yep,
and what you took away from it in general. There's some bad, but
exactly.
it looked magical at the same time.
It was a beautiful experience, like, and like I said, the only, like, other big festival I have to compare it to is Hula, which is like, done by the same people because 'cause they're also done by the Grateful Dead, um, but like I said, Hula's just on a smaller scale, but they are definitely the same with, like, the lighting up of the forest and, like, the theatrics and, like, all the interactive things, like, you could walk around the woods and, like, there were little trinket boxes you could open up and leave one, take ones everywhere, and, like, it was it was
I love
wild.
that. That's that's the type of stuff like that I think of when I think of a festival, like a music festival, is I think of like maybe Burning Man,
Mhm.
where it's very art centered. It's very I've never been to Burning Man, so I'm just speaking from what I think
No,
I
but,
know
like,
about it.
this
But
festival, like, I literally sat there during string cheese and watched an artist in the, like, as the sun was setting, paint this glorious freaking painting of, like, this woodland creature, and they have stuff like that set up
ugh,
everywhere. Um,
see, I love that. We
like
were hiking at Letchworth. Sorry to cut you off, but you just said that painting. There was somebody painting the bridge in the sunset at Letchworth, just out there with his whole setup as we're hiking
yep.
by. I love that so much.
Yeah, this guy was just sitting against a tree and, like, just painting his heart away as string cheese was playing, and it was a cool thing, like, to sit back and watch because this was, like, day 3 for me. So by day 3, we were tired, but day 1, it was cool. We roll up there, um, everybody met at my house first so we could all ride up together. We all met, picked up our friends, those who flew in, from other states, hop in the car and go to, like, and we waited in line like you had to at, like, 3 o'clock in the fucking morning, waiting in this line. We got, you have to get searched. So they have like basically bomb dogs that are like walking around cars and like, making you get out of the car, check everything, all that jazz. And then you got to wait in line to actually get to like where the festival grounds are for you to camp. And like, as we're waiting in line, we have a fucking 24 pack of beer. So what do? I'm like a little beer girl. I'm popping them out, passing them out to the 3 cars that we have, walking them down,
Oh my god. Not to the
because
driver, I hope, pants.
no, no, just to those that were chilling while we were waiting. But it was all the
There you
homies, the
go.
drivers, no.
Responsible fun, everybody.
Yes, exactly. But it was like, "Hey, we're on vacation. What a good way to start 3 o'clock in the morning. Here's a Budweiser." Like, we made it. We made it, everybody. And we pull up. They try to get
Yeah,
us to
because
park.
wait, did you mention that you drove from Maryland to Michigan? Did you mention
Yeah,
that?
it was 14 hours. 14 hours that we
Jesus.
drove straight.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how this happens when you're telling me stories, but I'm like, you tell me details and then I'm like, wait, what about this? But you've already said it. There's have been times where I go back and listen and I'm like, bitch, you just said it. And that just happened. So sorry, listeners. I'm with you. Like, future me is going to agree with present you. Okay, anyways, yeah. So thanks. Thanks
Um,
for the second fill in.
so yeah, so we get directed. They try to get us to park really far away from like the main entrance, and it was muddy because it had just like freshly rained. And Chris was like, "Nah, fuck that." So he drove away from where the guy said and found our own spot, like along this back line that was like a direct line straight to the Ferris wheel because they had a fucking Ferris wheel there. Like, so like you could see
Hell
it,
yeah.
and it was cool because we had the woods to the other side of us, so no one could park there. So like it was like we had our own little area. We set our 3 cars up, set up our canopies and stuff. Chris and I got this new tent mattress combo thing for the back of his truck, so we were off the ground, and that actually came in clutch. It was really fucking comfy. Um, but yeah, so like
Yeah,
we all
especially
made it.
if that goes, you guys have a truck?
Chris's Tacoma.
Oh my gosh, I always forget he has a truck.
Yeah. So, but it also helped too because like you only have a certain square foot that your campsite is. So like if we would have not had it in the back of the truck, it would have taken up more room and we wouldn't have as much room for like we make it home for 4 days. So we had our chairs set up, we had multiple tables, we had our cooking area, we had 3 canopies set up. Like we made it home.
Yeah,
We
I
put up
saw the
tapestries.
pictures. I was gonna say it looked almost like an outdoor like tent because you've
Mhm.
covered all the sides. It was like it looked very zen, very
Oh
chill.
yeah. Yeah, no, it was cool. So like we all set up and they're like, "All right, cool, we're gonna crash." Because the venue didn't open up till 4 on like Thursday. Um, so we're like, "All right, let's sleep." So then we wake up and like before like you can get into the venue, they have like the little like pre-area where like they have food vendors there, they have stores you can buy stuff from. They actually had a little stage set up. They had a whole coffee bar there as well. They had a gaming area where you could play Guitar Hero, Mario Kart, like they had a bunch of random shit. And this is all before you walked even into the festival. This is just like what you could chill at before.
See, all of that sounds awesome.
It was
Like,
it was fucking cool. And then you get to Electric Forest sign, and they have, the 3 different lines you could go into, and we ended up, getting in because our whole goal the first day was we were gonna walk in, walk around, get the lay of the land during the day, and then come back because all who we wanted to see wasn't performing till later that night. So we were gonna, get the lay of the land, go back to camp, partake in some festival activities, and then head back in. So we went ahead and we did that. We went to what they have is called the giving tree, which is literally just this big ass tree that you leave something and you can take something. So and people put anything out there. So you have
oh, that's
trinkets, you
cool.
have crystals, you have whatever, but it's the whole you're giving and you can take if you want or you can just give. But it's a big
I
thing there.
love that. I love that concept. See, that's like, I imagine like you can leave things that people need, or you can leave like creative little artsy
hmm
things. Like,
Well,
I
they
love
also have
that.
another section, and I didn't get to go to it because it was, like, a little bit more in the woods, but they have where you basically, like, you can, get, like, a bag and write, like, a past relative's name on it or a little note and put a candle in it, and it's, like you sit it there, and it's this whole area that's just lit up by these bags and candles that everybody has written their stories on.
Oh
I didn't
my
get to
God.
see
I
it,
can't
but
even
yeah. So, like, that's another cool aspect of
see.
it.
That's where I would go. When I would start to get
Yep.
overwhelmed by the crowd, my ass would be like, "Where are the candles? Where's the memorial
But
spot? I'm just gonna go sit with all the dead loved ones, and we're gonna chill."
dude, it was so much fucking walking. Like their stages were really cool though. They had where you could go through the woods and everybody would set up their hammocks and walking through that like was like walking through spider webs. But people would just like literally set up their hammocks and anybody could use them as long as nobody was in them. So like that was kind of cool. I definitely sat in a couple people's hammocks. Um, but yeah, so like we got the lay of the land. We go back to camp and you take it easy the first day. So we make a very, very potent mushroom tea for at least 7 people, and it basically was like a tincture
Damn.
because it was 14 grams
Yeah.
of 3 different kinds, and we had, like, maybe this, like, not even a quarter of a cup full each, and
Oh
that was
my
probably the
God.
hardest I have ever fucking tripped on mushrooms, but it was fun. Like, we were all 7 of us were on the same vibe. Um, and we like got to like one of the stages. We sat in the woods. I'm sitting on the blanket. Just everything is like colorful. I'm so happy. And then people start flowing in, and it's like, where the fuck are y'all going? Like the path is this way. Why are you walking over here towards me? Like you're walking through hammocks. Like what are you doing? It like made no sense to me. But I'm just sitting there laughing. I'm like, y'all dumb. Like where are you going?
Where were they going?
I don't know. They were trying to find another stage, but it was more like they could either walk the path with everybody else or you could try to cut through the trees, but everybody hangs up their hammocks. So it's like I said, like spider webs.
Yeah,
And like I'm sitting
right.
on the ground. It's like, yo, like, hi, I'm here. Don't step on me.
Oh,
Like,
so these are just like strangers coming
yeah,
through,
yeah.
basically.
As like
I see,
as
I see.
we like are set up, like it's like okay. Um, But, like, that was cool, and then, like, basically, like, all weekend, like, I had the set times for, like, all the, like, lineup, because everybody that came with us, other than Chris, like, didn't really know any of the artists, like, very well, like, they had maybe 1 or 2 they wanted to see, so, like, I had the stack set up where I was like, "Okay, we're gonna go here, here," and I tried to pace it out where we were going either back and forth between, like, 1 or 2 stages that were close, or, like, if we were at
Yeah.
a stage, we would post it there for a couple hours because there's 3 artists that are playing
See,
there.
and that's how you are, man. That is how you motherfucking are. And you and Thelma are the same way. You can be balls deep in some mushroom tincture tripping balls sitting in some stranger's hammock in the middle of an electrified forest, so to speak, and still be like, hey, hold on a second, guys. Let me reach into my pocket and pull out the stack of when things are playing so that everybody here gets to see their artist. What the
Hmm.
fuck? If I was there with you, I would have basically turned into your human pet because I just would have been like, I don't know what to do. I'm sitting here. Tell me where to go. Tell me what to
Yeah, no,
do.
that was
I'm
how I
just
was with a
vibing.
couple of them. Like, baby Keith, he was my homie all weekend. Cause at one point, it was getting cold, and I was, like, in shorts and, like, a tank top, and I didn't bring anything else in. So we set up for Alley Cat. Like, I think I had a hoodie, so, like, I threw a hoodie on, but I was like, "Man, I need pants." So we set up our blow-up couch that we had, so me and Keith are sitting there chilling. The other guys went back to camp to go check on a couple of our friends that, like, went to go take a nap before, and, they went to go get pants and everything else and get weed because we didn't bring any weed in with us, and we're like, "Fuck, we wanna smoke." So, they leave, and, like, me and Keith are sitting there, and we're just like, we're vibing, mushrooms are still kicking, but it's, like, the come down of it, and, like, it's getting darker, the show's about to start, the crowd is filling up, and it's like, I'm sitting down, and I got, like, all these strangers around me, and my anxiety started kicking because 'cause I'm like, "I don't think Chris and them are gonna
Mm-mm.
find us, like, I don't think they're gonna find us in this fucking horde." I'm like, "What
How
the
would
fuck?"
they?
Yeah, exactly, and I'm just sitting there, and Keith's, like, sitting there with me, he goes, "We good, Sam?" He's, like, tapped my leg, he goes, "We good." I was like, "Man, I just want some weed." He goes, "Oh, I got you," and he, like, whips out a joint that he forgot he had. I was like, "Oh my god." So, like, we started smoking that, and, like, that helped for a second, and then more people came in, and they're just hitting the couch, and, like, I had a ring light around us so you could see at night, and people were kicking and moving that. Some dude, like, tripped on it and pulled it. I'm like, "Ugh." So my anxiety's still kicking. I end up throwing my hood up, and I'm like, "Alley Cat's about to play. Alley Cat's about to play. This is cool." I'm texting Chris. I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna be able to find us, but we're still in the same spot if you can." I'm like, "All right." I was like, "Man, I could use some more weed." And this is why I say the forest provides, because there was a random stranger sitting on a blanket in front of us, and he leans over, he goes, "Hey, you guys look like you smoke. You want a joint?" And I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I want a joint." He goes, "I got
Hell
this at the
yeah.
Giving Tree because somebody had, like, one of those Blazy Susan containers just full of
Yeah.
pre-rolled up joints." So he, like, whips it out, and
What?
it's like a gram and a half joint. He gives it to me, and I don't know what was in that shit, but it was some good ass weed because I was sitting there, I got so stoned. Anxiety started
Oh
coming
my
down, and Alley
God.
Cat came on, and I'm just sitting on the couch just fucking rocking out, and then Chris and them ended up finding us. I got pants. I was like, "Yeah, this is great. Fucking
Oh my God.
awesome."
It is definitely a gamble taking a joint from a stranger at a festival, but it seems to
Dude,
have gone well for you in this
people were giving me weed all
instance.
weekend. Like, I had one dude, we were sitting there, about to watch DJ Diesel, so Shaq and T-Pain
Oh
play,
my
and, like,
God.
once again, this dude
What?
in front of us, his wife was drunk, and he had to go pee, so he's like, "Hey, can you guys watch my wife for me real quick?" And she was just sitting there. We're like, "Yeah, we got you, not a
I love
problem."
that, first of all. I love that, number one. This man asked people to stay with his wife. See, that's good shit right there. I like that.
S
Just
And
making
then when he
sure she's
came back,
taken care
he
of.
gave me a joint that had moon rocks in it, so I was sitting there fucking fried off my ass off
Oh
that.
my God. See, that's so far, everything seems good other than people
Yeah, like,
kind of
my
not respecting your
experience
space a little bit, but at the same
between
time,
that and,
everybody's
like,
messed up.
we made a totem that had, a tripod as, like, the base, and the rules were no metal or no wood to be able to come in, but there were multiple other people that had, like, metal totems that had, like, the same base structure. They let us bring it in the first night, and we tried to bring it in the second
Wait,
night, and
no wood?
yeah, no wood.
So, like, I couldn't carve, like, little whittled figures?
I mean, no, that's fine, it's just for, like, the totems, so, like, the sticks that people have with, like, the lights on it that they carry around so, like, the groups can find them because of it being, like, the
Oh,
yeah,
got it. Okay, I was thinking
yeah.
totems like the little
No,
trinkets you
no,
can
not
leave.
the trinkets, no, totems is like, the totem comes
Okay.
in clutch when you're in a big group because it's like, "Oh, I can't find you guys," and it's like, "Oh, look for the spaceship," and it's like, "Oh, there you are."
I see. See, I'm not a festival. I didn't know that's what a totem was. I think you've told me this before though.
But yeah, so, like, the staff, like, was a fucking jerk the second day trying to bring it in, and, like, they gave Chris such a hard time, and that's what I meant by, like, the staff not being PLUR. It's like, we're and I was like, "Look, dude," I was like, "We're literally just using it for a light. There's so many other people that have brought stuff in that are the same material." He goes, "Yeah," he goes, "They're not supposed to," and I'm like, "Well, can't you just we're not gonna fucking beat somebody with it, like, goddamn." It was yeah, so
But
it was
that's probably why though. That's like,
it is 100% why, but if you're gonna do that, then be thorough with everybody. Because it was,
yep,
like, literally,
yes.
like, 2 people ahead of us had, like,
Consistency.
a metal pole. It's like, "Yo, like, you're giving us shit." and it's like
But
you're letting
they
all these other people slide.
yeah, and a metal pole is so much worse. Like, what the hell? So
Yeah,
consistency
so
at a festival, yeah, like,
that
making
and, like,
sure
it seemed like none of the staff knew any of the questions, like, any of the answers to the questions we had. So, like,
mhm,
because like, a lot of people, they work there just so they can go to the festival. Like, they'll, like, get, the vendor whatever or whatever, the staff thing, so they work for X amount of hours, and then they can go party for X amount of hours. So I could get that. But when we're coming up to you with questions that are, like, on your website about, like, loyalty options and, like, special offers and stuff that we're supposed to have, and we have to literally run around to 5 different stations to get told that you guys don't know, like, that is not a good thing, I feel.
no, that's absolutely fucked. You're paying a lot of money to go there, and you took a lot
And
of time to drive there, that you
and the
shouldn't be
questions we were
chasing around
asking weren't
people.
that hard. Like, they were shit that you guys had posted on your website that, like, we just wanted to know, like, what these exact options were and, like, how does that play out and who we have to go to, get these luxuries. So, like, that was kind of a bummer. But all in all, like, my experience was good. Like, the last day, was a little wonky because, like, 4th day, I took 2 tabs of acid, really good acid, not gonna lie. It was really nice. I was having a good
Yeah.
time, very euphoric. And, then we found out the tragedy that happened, which I'll get into later on this episode, but found that out during, like, mid-peak of my trip. And then we go into the festival grounds after that, and we're setting up for Grizz's golden hour set because the sun's going down, Papa Grizz is gonna fucking play this shit, and he's very, like, jazzy with the, saxophone and stuff, like, it was good. We set up
Yeah, that I would have been worth it to me just to see
until you got there,
alone.
and it was the whole festival was there. Everybody at the fucking festival, and it was people, like, literally trampled on top of each other. If it wasn't for Chris's friend Haley that already had a set, like, posted up, we wouldn't have been able to
Yeah.
find a spot. So, like, we went over to
Oh
her, we
god.
set up. It started to, like, sprinkle a little bit, like, not rain, but, like, a little misting, and it was like, "Yes, like, we need to be cleansed after this tragedy, like, clean us looks," like, it was a beautiful moment, like, the sun was, like, kinda shining through, Grizz was playing, and then all of a sudden you hear, "Meh, meh, meh, please evacuate the festival grounds due to severe weather conditions. Meh, meh, we will keep you updated on the app," and it just every stage just blaring this fucking message.
Oh
And
my
it's like,
god.
"Yo, like, there's not a dark cloud in the sky, like, it's sprinkling a little bit, but, like, what do you mean?" Like, Grizz played for
Oh
30
my
minutes,
god.
and so
Oh,
then
and like
that's when I noticed, like,
sorry,
the total
I have
capacity.
comments that I'll say. My bad. Sorry, you're I didn't mean to talk over you, but I'm just processing what you're saying and knowing the tragedy and how this is taking place after. I just have
Mhm.
things I'm like, "Whoa, what?" But I'll hold them, and I just wanted to share that out
No, I got
external
you,
thought with
because
you.
we were in the same headspace when it happened, because we were talking about it on the way back to camp. But it wasn't until, like, the evacuation point that I realized how many people were there, because it took fucking forever to get out of the festival grounds. Like, we were on the very far backstage, and everybody squished in like sardines, like, waddling through. We sat in the forest for a second just to see, like, maybe it would stop, maybe, like, because the weather was changing all day. It went from being, like, fucking severe to not, to this to that. So we're like, "Okay, we'll give it a few minutes."
Well, are they evacuating you to your cars or to your camps?
They wanted you off the festival grounds, meaning to your campsite. They wanted you out of where the
Okay,
stages are and the electrical equipment. Go back to camp.
got it.
And I will say one fun part that happened randomly as we're walking back is there was 2 random people that were saying fucking they were like, "20 bottles of beer on the wall, 20 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 19 bottles of beer on the wall." So, like, they started singing it, and they were at 25 when I heard them. So I'm
Oh
laughing,
my god.
and, like, they kept going. They were doing it, and they got down to, like, 10, and then I joined in, and, like, a whole bunch of people in the crowd started joining in, and then when we got down to no beer, bottles of beer on the wall, everybody high-fived and hugged and was like, "Yeah!"
See, that's
Fucking
cool. Those are the moments you look for in
exactly.
a situation like that, you know?
Yeah, and it was so random, and, like, our friend Keith was like, "It's a bad day to be a beer," as we're headed back to camp because he's like, "What else are we gonna do?" And, yeah, so, like, we ended up
That's
evacuating.
hilarious.
It didn't start raining, like, it was lightning by the time we were headed back to camp, like, it was far away lightning, but then it didn't start really raining until, like, 4 hours because like, Grizz started playing at, like, 8:45, give or take, so we were evacuated by, like, 9 something. We didn't get told to go back into the festival until 1:30 in the morning. and they extended it from 2 to 3 so you could go, and they
Jesus.
had certain artists do back to back so you could see them. So, like, I ended the night with
Wow.
Wooly and Millennium back to back.
Oh,
'Cause we
wow.
walked back in. We were like, "Fuck it," we're all still awake. Cause actually, ironically, right before we got the alert where they announced to go back into the festival, me, Paulie, and Keith were gonna walk around the campsites because 'cause we're like, "Fuck it, we haven't walked around camp. Let's go ahead and, like, see what's going on. Let's see what we can get into." So we were all getting set up to do that, and they were like, "Man, you guys can go back to the festival." We're like, "Oh, shit, well, let's go back to the festival then." So yeah, so like
Hell yeah.
like the time I had, it was good. The people I had was good. Us people, we looked out for each other. I made some friends with some people from Puerto Rico, which was cool and like really random. There were definitely some scary moments. I will say this is the first festival where I have seen more medical needed and more people getting taken out, like carried out by friends.
What?
Yeah, dude, there
What
was
the
one
fuck?
night we were right before Grizz performed, not his golden hour, but the night before he performed a night show. Literally,
Yeah.
right before Grizz came on, like 30 minutes, we just hear somebody screaming for medical, and, like, we're like, "What?" And it's pitch black. So, like, we're like everybody in the crowd starts screaming medical, and we're, like, flashing our lights,
Oh
fucking
my
Polly
fucking god. That's a
and it took
nightmare.
forever.
That's a
It took
fucking
forever.
nightmare.
Fucking 4 or 5 people ran up with
Aren't you
4 or
balls
5
deep in tea
people.
right now? Sorry, aren't you balls deep in tea right now as they're screaming medical?
This was night 2, so I was candy flipping, so I was on acid and Molly
Oh my
on night
god.
2.
Either
So
way. Oh
either
my
way.
god.
But they're screaming for medical, I'm screaming for medical, fucking Polly ends up calling and actually saying, "Hey, I'm at Electric Forest, we're at this stage," like, because how else 4 or 5 people run up with Narcan, they shoot the guy up with Narcan, we all make a path for medical to get through the crowd, like, it was a team effort. The guy, he was alive, they got him out, but it
What
was
the
just
hell is
such a
happening?
wild he I don't know what he took, he had to take something.
So he was ODing on something?
More than likely, because the Narcan helped. I mean, I'm not sure. He was a couple people,
Holy
like, ahead.
shit.
I just yeah, like,
Oh
and but
my god.
my people rallied. Our friend Kyle ran off to actually go get a medical person and bring them to him. Like, it was a team effort.
See, that's awesome that people were around and helped this person. Like that's important to acknowledge. But
Yes.
holy shit, that's oh my god.
But it's like
That's such a scary
even
moment.
the last night, I was sitting there and I wasn't even in the crowd. We were sitting back by the trees watching Millennium and Wooly, and all of a sudden I just see flashing lights, and medical is dragging a woman out. Like, she was coherent, but, like, obviously not well. And it was like, "Dude, this is the last night." Like, we got back in for, like, an hour and a half. I'm like,
Oh my
"What are
god.
y'all doing?"
Oh my
And, like, don't get me wrong, I know this
god.
happens at all
Jesus.
festivals. I'm sure it happens at Hula too. I mean, I've seen it happen at
Mhm.
random shows I go to in Baltimore and DC. It was just a
Yeah.
lot at this one, and it could just be, the large scale of it, the mass capacity, the more people, but it was a lot. Like, that was like, "Whoa."
Yeah. Jeez. A lot of like ODing, you're saying?
I mean, a lot of just medical needed, and that's what I'm assuming more than likely just because of the way that they looked,
Got it.
so I wasn't sure what they took. It could be from drinking, there are multiple different things.
Oh my god. How many would you say you saw?
At least 5 or 6.
Oh my god, that's awful. I hope all of them are okay, and I hope that the lesson they take away from it is everything's good in controlled structured amounts, you know?
But, that kinda leads me into, more of the bad topics, because due to the tragedies that
Yeah.
happened while I was there, it made me kinda look into other, like, tragedies that have occurred, and it was a little harder doing the research because of all the recent news. It was kind of the majority of what was popping up when trying to, like, deep dive, but I was able to find, like, 5 or 6 instances, between 2012 and 2024 of people that have died, from overdoses at Electric Forest or from Electric Forest. So
Jesus.
one of those was on 6/22/2024. Alexander Lewis, he was 34. His death is technically unknown. Lewis died at 11:25 on a Saturday, June 22nd, but little is known at this time. He was just transported to the hospital on Friday night in critical condition. So they don't know what happened to him.
But he was at Electric Forest, something happened, he was
Yes.
transferred and then
Yep.
died.
And then passed away at the hospital. Yep.
How old was he?
34.
34. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I have another one, which is 6/27/26, which is Michael John Stevenson. He was 22. He OD'd. The autopsy revealed cocaine, meth, and ketamine toxicity.
Damn, yeah, you can't mix your drugs, but damn,
Yeah, yeah.
that sucks. I mean, it's so hard because it's like these deaths are tragic and they're sad, and nobody deserves to die from an overdose. And I think it's important to just kind of be like, yeah, okay, they were recreationally using
Mhm.
drugs. We get that.
Well, it just shows that, like, even the most experienced, like, it can happen to anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
Like,
Yep.
even if you think you're more experienced, you've done it before and shit like that, like, you just gotta be careful. That's why for the most part,
Yeah,
like,
and
for my experience, I stuck with, like, the more natural substances that we could consume or that I brought with me. So that way I wasn't
right.
just, you know
Yeah. And a lot of times too, if you're at a festival and you take something and you take a lot of it, you might not be in the right headspace to not take something else. You
And
know,
on top of that,
it's
you
not.
gotta think about, like, you're not thinking about hydration, you're not thinking about food and things like
Mhm.
that either, and, like, it's hot as balls, like
Yeah. Yeah, but these are tragic. I just want to say I know that they're recreational drugs and that they died kind of because of those choices, but it's still tragic and it's still they should be remembered because everybody deserves
and
to have fun.
and that's kinda why,
And
like, I wanted to, like, acknowledge these people
yeah.
because regardless, like, it is something that happened, and it is tied with Electric Forest, and like I said, I know it happens on many other festivals, and I'm sure there are other instances that have occurred, it's just harder to find right now due to the current instances that have occurred. Um, but the next one I have on this list is 6/29/2014. His name was Brian Allen Brockett, 20. He OD'd. The official cause of death was an ecstasy intoxication.
Damn, this is gonna sound really naive, but I did not know you could OD from ecstasy.
Dude, I didn't either, and it could just be that it was maybe laced with something, or it could have been that it was just not pure.
I'm 20 years old. Oh my god.
Yep.
That's so young. I really had no idea you could OD from ecstasy.
Yeah, dude. The next one I have is on 6/27/2013. Joseph Bud Norris, 21. He OD'd. Joseph died from a heroin overdose while working at the festival.
Damn. That's what you were talking about, the you can party and then work, party like,
Mhm.
the people that work
Mhm.
there.
Yep.
Damn. There's there is never a time or place for heroin. I'm just
Fuck
saying.
no. Fuck no.
I'm just saying. That was a poor choice. No one deserves to die from heroin or ODing at all. Never the
Mhm.
case. It's so sad. But but damn, that was not because of the festival. That was that you don't
That was
just I
yeah,
mean,
that was
actually
poor choice.
actually, honestly, you can OD the first time you try heroin, so don't fucking do it. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
No.
That's just
So then
oh, that's sad.
the last one I have listed here is on 6/29/2012. Michael Benway, 37. He OD'd as well. Michael was found unresponsive at his campsite. He suffered heart failure from an apparent overdose, but it didn't say what he OD'd on.
And how old was he?
37.
Damn. They say
Yeah.
a parent overdose, but they don't know
Yeah, they said
what.
heart failure for
It's like,
sure, but they didn't.
damn. Heart failure at 37 while you're camping at a festival. That is and a suspected overdose, so maybe just some sort of stimulant. But man,
Mhm. So
that's
then
so
now we
sad.
kind of talk
Nobody
about the current. Nobody deserves that.
yeah,
Nobody deserves any of that. But
yeah.
especially when, like, you're supposed
No,
to be having, like, the time of your life, it's supposed to be a good experience, it's supposed to be, memories made, and
yeah.
that's kinda
And I
why I
think
feel
it's
bad about this next story.
yeah, which will I'm, eager
Yeah,
to
yeah.
hear, but it's like it's important to bring these people up because we're not framing them as, villains, but it's
Mm-mm.
also like, hey, these are real people. To put a name and an age with, oh, because you hear, oh, people OD at festivals all the time. Yeah, but this is a person and this is who they were.
Yeah,
And
this
this
is
was a
someone's
mistake
family,
that
this
they
is
made.
someone's son, someone's dad, someone's uncle.
Yeah. Yep. So I just wanted to say that because, I like to bring things full circle. Like, why? Okay, so why are we talking about them? Well, because they are people and that they
Yeah.
matter. and to be careful at festivals.
100%. And, like you said, just to kind of pay recognition and acknowledgement and give a little shout out. And who knows, maybe their families are listening to us and like they will feel the respect that we're trying to give. There is tragic of what happened and how it happened, but they have stories too that deserve to be heard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next one that there's like three tragedies that happened this year while I was there. The first one, I don't have the woman's name written down. Let me see if I can find that real quick. This one is about a Minnesota woman in her early 20s that died on the drive back from Electric Forest after the car she was in drifted off I-94 into the median on Monday night. Um, her name was Anna Melcher. Melcher? Might have mispronounced that, but yeah. And she literally had just left the forest, just had the time of her life. I think it was her first forest from what I read on, like, the Facebook group, um, riding back with her friend. Her friend who was driving was in critical condition, but I think he survived, but she passed away, and the scary part about this is me and my crew in my car drove past this accident and didn't realize, like, it was a big accident.
Oh, damn. What happened? Like, what caused it? Do you
It
know?
said she said that the article said that her car drifted into the median off I-94 and then was struck by, like, another big truck, and honestly, when we drove by, it looked like 4 or 5 cars that were fucking in that accident. It was, like, cars flipped over and, like, it was intense.
Damn. So, like, she fell asleep driving?
The dude she was with did. She was the passenger.
Damn. That's another thing to bring up, like, oh my gosh, not having enough rest before you leave a festival too, like, thinking about how you're getting home. That's hard because that's another tragic accident, like, you can't help it if you're tired, like, that's so scary, you don't think you're gonna fall asleep. Nobody thinks you're gonna fall asleep, like, driving. No one
Mhm,
thinks, "Oh, that's not gonna be me." But, oh my god,
mhm,
it can
and it
happen
happens
so
like that.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened. The other tragedy that we found out about was, Gerard Jackson. He was 28. He was last seen about 10 a.m. Monday, 6:29 after leaving Electric Forest Festival. His body was found by officers in the wooded area near Rothbury where his rental car was parked. Jackson left the venue leaving all his belongings, and according to the Facebook groups and other reports, Jackson hung himself about 150 feet away from the festival grounds.
What the fuck?
And
Oh my
then
god.
Yeah. So I did a little bit more deep diving because 'cause I'm in a bunch of the, Facebook chats and stuff like that. So from what I discovered from the eForest Facebook group chats is prior to Jackson leaving the venue, his friends stated that he had seemed to have a mental breakdown after consuming some mind-altering drugs. So I don't know if that was
Oh
mushrooms or, like,
no.
what he consumed, but
Oh
afterwards, he
man.
believed in his heart that he had committed some type of crime. It didn't go into details on what that crime was, and he needed to turn himself in. He Jackson then found an officer and attempted to, turn himself in for this crime that he thought he committed. The officer recorded everything, but determined that Jackson had not committed no crime and told him to just go back to camp. It was after that that Jackson returned to camp and left everything, like left his phone, left his wallet, left everything, and took their rental car, and then went and ended his life.
That is awful. What the heck? Like, I'm so sorry for his family and for his friends who were there having to live with that. Oh my gosh. And like, what crime
And
did
especially because
he
a lot of his friends stated that they went to sleep, like, and left him, like, awake. So, like, you left your homie fucking dealing with his mental struggle because you wanted to get some sleep. Like, not blaming them, but, like, you're supposed to look out for
yeah.
people.
Fuck. If my yeah, if that happened, I mean, but then are they also on mind altering drugs?
True,
you
true.
know?
But
So, like, do
either
they even
way,
know
I just feel
the
like if that was my
seriousness?
homie, even if it was a homie that, like, I mean, I might not know as deep as you, even if it's a homie I've only known for a couple years, if they're going through some struggle, I don't care if I'm fucking dead ass tired. We're gonna get some coffee in us. We gotta sit there and drink, and we gotta talk.
Yeah, you have to wonder how obvious was his struggle, though.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
was he active like, was he very openly, like, upset?
According to his friends, he was very like, to go to an officer and say that you committed a crime, like, you obviously are
What
showing that,
crime
like,
did he commit? Or
then didn't
what
go
did
into
it say
detail.
what crime? No, it
Nope, it did
didn't.
not go into detail.
And he felt so guilty about this crime that the officer couldn't prove even happened? Oh my god.
Mhm.
That leaves a lot of
Open-ended
questions,
questions.
and
Yeah.
god, the sadness that must be. I just feel really, really terrible for his family and for his friends, and yeah, yet that's how do you let your friend just I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one
Mhm.
because you don't wanna blame the friends. Y
'Cause, they're probably already
because who
blaming
knows, like,
themselves
the
enough
history. Yeah, but who knows the history with this friend? Maybe he oftentimes had these kind of things
episodes or
happen,
something. Yeah,
or yeah, or maybe he's a jokester and they thought he was joking, like, we don't know the context behind the relationships. This might have just been another, "Oh, there he is being funny
mhm.
again." Who knows? That's a lot, and this just happened last week,
Yeah.
right? Or,
This
like
literally happened. I found
or
out
this
about
week.
this after I found out about no, he was discovered, like, Monday, like, right after the festival ended,
That's so
and everybody
sad.
was going home. Because I found this out after the big tragedy that happened while I was there.
But also, there have been, like there's a history of people being found in the fields around Electric Forest in
Mhm, and
previous years, right?
yeah, like Chris even said, he's come a couple of years and, like, there's many suicides that happen there, whether it's, like, people that go back to their campsite and just, do it. I mean, there was even one that happened at Hula where somebody, like, shot themselves in their car.
Oh my god. That's so sad.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it is. It is because you think of festivals as a place to, like, go and be PLUR and
Yep.
share love and experience music and just kinda let go of reality for a little while in a safe space where everybody feels unified in the common desire to spread that love and that safety and that just, like, inner equality, like,
Mhm.
inner and outward, and to hear that
Somebody still
these
felt so
things.
alone.
Yeah, yeah, and then you know, the heaviness continues because we still haven't even talked about the other
Yeah,
thing, It's just sad. So,
I guess. Do you wanna get into the last one, I guess?
yeah. I'm curious because I wanna tell you really quickly before you get into this. I when you had mentioned that you wanted to talk about Electric Forest and your experience and stuff, I wasn't sure if that was gonna entail like, what that was gonna entail or how your experience went. This was before I knew about what you're about to tell us. And so what I did is I just looked up, like, the history of Electric Forest, like, tragedies, and I just did one quick little run through, so I didn't really find, much, initially. So then I was just like, I wonder what would happen if I just, like, picked a random page in the search, because I don't use Google, I use something different. I use a few different search engines that don't have AI in them, so I just kinda pick through. And I'm not even kidding, like, I just go to a random page and boom, there's a news article about what happened, and I was just like, "Okay, I'm not gonna look anymore because I feel like she's gonna have a lot to tell me." And you have. and this is just the cherry, like I'm not even gonna say what I was about to say. Like this is the
I literally put down cherry on top of the shit pie.
yeah, this is tragic, and I just there's so many
Yeah, no, it's
questions.
tragic.
So yeah.
I literally just in my notes I did that to like break it up as I'm writing this because I was like, all right.
Well, yeah, because like that's the way we deal with very serious tragedy is like comedic relief, not to belittle the tragedy, but to stop ourselves from crumbling because of it, because of these awful things, you know? Like
Hmm.
none of our comedy is to take away from the seriousness of these tragedies, and nothing that we do when talking about these people that have passed away due to these overdoses, like they still deserve to be spoken about and their tales deserve to be told as a cautionary, warning to prevent this from happening in the future. And
100%.
this next thing, I don't it's heavy because where do we go from here with it? And we'll kind of that's where I'll stop and let you kind of get into it and see what it was like being there and experiencing this.
Yeah, so keep in mind when like I found this out, like I said before, I was 2 times as deep. It was the last day. And like we were having a good time. We had our music playing at our campsite. We were waiting for Grizz to, get ready. So I've been waiting for it to cool down some before we started walking. Everybody was vibing. Everybody was having a good time. And our friend Brooke actually sent us the article, and that's how we found out about it initially. Because Chris like read it, and I was like, "You got to be shitting me!" I was like, "That has to be fake." And he's like,
Oh
"No,
my
it's
god,
legit."
while you were there?
Yeah, yeah. She did not know that we were 2 times as deep, by the way, and she feels horrible about it now. But it was uncanny timing. So when I found this out, it hit me very heavy, and it did not leave my mind, and has not left my mind since. So I'll just throw that out there. But this tragedy happened on June 28th, 2026. A dead baby was found inside a porta potty. A neonate, meaning younger than 28 days, was found by an employee of a restroom vending company carrying out maintenance. The placenta and umbilical cord still attached to this infant. Um, this baby was also, by the way, like it was full term. But they classified it initially as a neonate because they needed to do an autopsy first to see whether it took its first breath. If it took its first breath and was not born a stillborn, then it could be qualified as an infant. So it's kind of like the breakdown with that. Um,
Okay.
when when it says it was found in a porta potty, it wasn't just found at a porta potty on like a general GA camping like where I was at. It was found in what they have as good life camping, which you pay extra for, which gives you literally like direct access to like festival grounds and different stuff. So like you pay a lot of money to stay at this camp area.
Um, so that is even more like you
Yep.
have the money. What the hell? Is it only accessible to that campground?
It should be. Like, the way your wristbands work and you scan them in and everything, like, you only have access to what your wristband allows. However,
So that
the
should
scanners were acting a little junky this weekend or this past weekend while we were there. So, we wanna be hopeful that, like, they scanned in, but
my
it's not
god.
like there's, like, surveillance footage either. So, like, they're looking a lot for, like, the community to help send pictures and things like that. And look through your camera roll, see if you remember anything weird or because there were a lot of pregnant women that were there while I was there, and I noticed them
Which
before
honestly,
this
it's crazy.
occurrence. But
Yeah, I'm
they
sorry. If
did
you're pregnant, you shouldn't be at a fucking that pregnant. If you're
yes,
that pregnant, I don't know.
um,
Just my opinion. It's just an opinion.
but they did do an autopsy, and they haven't come out with, like, the full results of the autopsy, but the autopsy did confirm that it was a full-term infant and was in fact alive at birth due to the fact that they found fluid in or in the infant's lungs and stomach.
Mm. Yeah, I did read something about that, but I think that the source for that specific part, I don't know if the official autopsy by a medical examiner has been released yet. Has it?
I got not the full autopsy, but according to, like, the New York Times, because that's where I got it from, they did I confirmed that there was fluid in the lungs and stomach, but they haven't said, like, the sex of the kid or anything. They haven't given out any further information. They still haven't ID'd the mom, or father, so that's why I'm saying, like, they're asking for the community's help, like, look through your camera rolls and, if you remember anything weird, even if it might not be relevant, it could be relevant. So, like, they're asking the community to share. Um, yeah. So when I found that out, like I said, like, it hit heavy, like, our whole campsite got quiet. Walking back into the festival, like, before they
Yeah.
evacuated us, like, I noticed so many more kids than I noticed previously, just running around or with their parents and various ages, and it's like, it was
Oh my
heavy.
god.
And like I said, it has not left my mind since. It has been nothing but, like, all the posts on the Facebook chat has really been about, and people just trying to, I guess, figure it out
There's
because we don't know.
there is a woman out there who was pregnant and is no longer pregnant who went to Electric Forest.
Yep.
I know
And
it's scary.
what kills me
Well, I
most is Michigan has state laws when it comes to, like, infants and newborns and stuff. She could have literally popped out that kid and given it to an officer right there at the festival grounds and not been held liable for anything and gone back to partying.
damn.
That's what kills me.
Now, I I just looked up what you said, and, like, literally every news source is saying that this baby was born alive, but I do not believe that the official oops, I just hit my mic. The official medical examiner has come out and said that yet.
Mhm,
So, I am going to just err on the side of caution with that information. I'm just gonna say that because if I was this woman, which I would never
mhm.
be, truly, honestly, I would never this would never be me. Uh, I would never put myself in a situation, nor would I ever I I don't know how out of your mind you have to be for this to happen to you, but there's a baby coming out of you. You had to cut the umbilical cord.
Yep,
You had to cut the umbilical cord. So if you're out of your mind, how do you know to do that? How do you know to tie it off? Like, oh,
yep,
I mean, you wouldn't tie it off because you don't. I mean, no, you would have to tie it off on your end too. I would think. I don't know. I didn't cut my own. I was, a baby.
yeah.
I don't remember. Uh, it's really disturbing. But I'm trying to let's say, even so, that this woman went into labor, she went into the porta potty, the baby is born dead.
Mhm.
Okay.
You should still find somebody and get help and
Oh,
not just discard it like a fucking trash.
wha that's what I'm saying, like, you bring that baby that you just birthed, and you run and you get a cop because guess what? It might take just a little bit of CPR to get that baby breathing, a little pat on the back. You don't know because you're not a medical professional. You don't actually know that that baby's dead regardless, you know?
Mhm.
Like,
And the kid was
the
found at, like,
only
7 in the morning on Sunday. So, like, it happened, like, Saturday, like, morning or, like, either early Sunday morning or Saturday evening.
and, like, did anybody that's yeah, if you it's not oh, man, I don't even know what to say because it's so awful. If you know something and you were there, you should say something. It's not turning on a friend, like, this person needs
Mm-mm.
help. This woman needs
100%.
help. There's there's there is no normal reason to do what she did. There's nothing about that that says she is safe, whether safe for herself, safe for
Mhm.
others, safer is there something in her life that she was hiding from that forced this situation? Like, she
Yeah.
either way needs help. So let's say she's a victim of sexual
And
abuse.
it could have been a cryptic pregnancy too, like, she could have not known she was pregnant. I
Exactly.
mean, they have a whole show about it, and that's kind of the positive spin that I'm
That's so
trying to take
true.
on it. where, like,
That's
it
so
yes,
true.
it's tragic, but, like, hopefully it's not as tragic as our minds want us to go with it.
Yeah, like, my god, though. Like
Yeah.
like, the placenta was found too, meaning it was
Yep.
this baby was born in that porta potty.
Yep.
You spend 9 months knowing that you are going to be a mother, and you position yourself to be in a situation that you're in a porta potty?
And there was plenty of medical around, especially when you're at Good Life, you have access to so many things that are just quicker. So that's what fucking blows me is like and this baby would have been celebrated. I don't think there's ever been a baby born in Electric Forest. So you gotta think about it, like, that
Oh
baby would
my
have been
god.
cherished, fucking celebrated, like
Oh my god. What you just said makes me wanna cry. Oh, that's so sad. You know, I'm pro-choice, but this is not it. This is not the
mm-mm,
choice I support. This is not it. This is what gives pro-choice a bad name, because you have women like this. I don't know, like I said, could she I don't know the situation, but my god, this is gonna be used as fuel against other women,
mhm,
you know? And it's gonna be used as a way to paint festivals in a negative light. And look, we've talked a lot about negative things at the end of this episode, but you mentioned all the good things about them and we talked previously, we've talked time and time again how to be responsible at festivals. Like they're
mhm,
okay if you're responsible. Going to a festival 9 months pregnant is not responsible. I'm sorry, it's not. Do
no,
not go. Go to the next one. Get a babysitter and go to the next one when your child is born. Or adoption is great. Or if you're really early pregnant, abortion is
yep,
legal in some states. And it is okay if that is the choice you make. But the choice you don't make is leaving your newborn baby to die in a porta potty or your stillborn baby's corpse in a porta potty. And I know that that's
mhm,
gruesome to say, but it was a gruesome thing that happened.
yeah.
I'm so, I can't even imagine what it must have been like to just be there after that. Like, that's
The air
awful.
was
I'm
heavy. The
sorry.
air was heavy, and that's why after, like, that we found that out, and then the evacuation happened, like, 12 hours after the fact. It made us, like, kinda go and think, like, maybe because the rain was coming, it was their way of getting everybody out so they could keep doing investigations or, stuff like that. Like, it was our mind was, like, going all over the place with, like, theories and possibilities because when we initially found out the
Well,
information, all we got told via the article, it did not have the fact of the umbilical cord in the placenta yet, so all it said was a neonate was found dead in a porta potty, so we were like, "Okay, so either somebody had, birthed the kid or somebody literally just threw their newborn baby in the fucking toilet." So, like, that was where my headspace was at when we first read it, and then as details further came out, I mean, it didn't get any better, but it was like, "Holy shit, like, this is a lot deeper."
yeah. The only thing, like, what honestly, like, if somebody was so out of their mind that they didn't even know, maybe
Yeah.
they didn't. But, like, just the umbilical cord cutting, like, that's
Yep.
the part. I can't
That's what
get
turns
over
me
that,
insane.
if that was found there. I just don't get it. I don't get it either way. But, shit.
But that's
I
why
was
I
gonna
said,
oh,
like, it's
yeah.
my go ahead.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good, go ahead.
Um, I forgot again. I'm just still kinda just
I know,
fucked up
it
about
trust
that.
me, dude, the whole ride back, even to, like, this day, like, I'm constantly looking up to see if they have any more updates or things like that.
Yeah, the other thing I was gonna say was, if this person was in that specific campground that you said, right, that has limited access, then
Mhm.
when this baby was found, it should have been an immediate everybody evacuate so that the people would go back to that campground. And guess what? You do a head count of all the pregnant people in that campground.
Well,
The
that's the
fuck?
thing is
And
when
you
the kid was
question them.
found you didn't even have access to the festival grounds yet. I don't think the festival grounds opened up till 2 in the afternoon. So, like, everybody that was supposed to be there was still there, but that doesn't mean she couldn't have left right after she gave birth, you know? Like, she could have packed up her
Okay.
shit and, you know, like, there's so many.
Oh, so you're basically just, like, camping all day and then at night you party.
Yeah, basically. And that's why before
Okay.
you go into the festival grounds, they have, like, the food vendors and the shopping like, stores and stuff like that, so, like, you can walk away from camp and, like, go do some things while you wait for the festival grounds to
Okay.
open.
Got it. Okay. That makes more sense. In my head, I wasn't quite envisioning it that way. Yeah, that's just so fucked. I just Yeah, so you're not going back?
Like I said, it was my first and definitely my last. I'm glad I went. I had a great experience, like I said, the vibes I had, the people I was with, like, it didn't affect us to the point where we didn't enjoy ourselves, but it does make me appreciate my smaller scale festivals, and it makes me
Okay.
appreciate those, like, memories I made. Like, I appreciate all the memories I made, but I'm happy I can say I did it, but unless things change or, like, they put an age capacity where you gotta be 21 or plus, or, like, they, you know, put a capacity on, like, not overselling, like, they gotta change some shit before they convince me to come back.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you have any information about the tragedies at Electric Forest that occurred this year, we're gonna put who you can contact in our
The
show
Michigan State
notes.
Police. Yeah.
Michigan State Police. So,
And that's for everybody, go through your pictures, go through your videos. If you remember just, like, some vibes being off and, like, something you might think isn't relevant, anything can be relevant. We don't know at this point.
yeah, and be safe at festivals and don't go if you're pregnant and yeah, don't mix your drugs and just be safe, make good decisions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as I say,
Those are
beautifully said final thoughts.
yeah. So, never stop asking yourselves,
Who
who
are
are
you?
you? Not going to Electric Forest, just who are you?